Hi, I'd like to help you learn English and Slovak. Uh, you might ask, how can I help you do that? Well, let me first tell you a personal story about how I managed to improve my English. So, when I was about 12 years old, so about 10 years ago, I wasn't very good at English. And this was despite me having learned grammar for 6 years in school. I did a lot of exercises, grammar exercises, etc. I learned vocabulary, but I didn't really spend a lot of time with the language itself, meaning in the form of dialogues, stories, phrases, etc. And I just learned it a lot in like isolation with like fill in the gaps exercises, etc. And because of that, I really wasn't able to use it. I wasn't able to speak it fluently. I wasn't able to really comprehend English TV series or movies. So what's changed since then? I started to watch a lot more of English TV series and movies. From the beginning, usually with Slovak subtitles. Eventually, I transitioned to English subtitles, and now I can even sometimes do it without subtitles. And I also started playing an English video game called Team Fortress 2, and there I had to communicate with other players using English, which was a great experience for me because I spent a lot of time playing that game, thousands of hours. Uh, I managed to gain a lot of time where I was exposed to the language, not just the way I was exposed to it in school, and probably you were exposed to it in school in a similar way, but by actually having to speak with people. And that's what really jump started my progress through learning the English language. And when I was 15, I had a fluent conversation with my cousin from America for over 2 hours. And when I was 18, I passed an exam that placed my English at a near native level, so C1. And I also won the first place in a national English competition. Anyway, I would say that my story is proof that just doing exercises on paper and using rote learning doesn't do enough to improve your language skills. The best way to improve your language skills is by spending a lot of time with the language in the form of dialogues, stories, and phrases. To learn a language, you need to see how it's used, see it in context, learn by seeing it in context and by reading and listening to dialogues and stories. And also, it's very good to have somebody who can improve your ability to notice. So you see, let's say, I think a sentence in Slovak, and Google Translate can kind of translate it pretty well, but there's some grammar rules that the teacher can point out to you. Oh, here this applies, here that applies. It can also tell you why in this case it's translated like this, and in another case it's translated in a different way. And so this is what I do a lot with my students, just going through Slovak phrases, stories, and explaining to them how things works, but via real life examples, not so much via definitions. Definitions are good from time to time, but I like to do it like first give them a few examples where I point some things out, then we can read like a grammar definition, a grammar table, and that will in turn help them to be able to notice these grammatical things more and more. And after they see it like 1,000 times, they're gonna be able to internalize it and be able to use it more and more often and more accurately. So I also encourage you to say your opinion on what you want to do during our lessons. I'll be kind and supportive, so you feel comfortable and motivated. I also believe that every lesson is a chance to learn, not just for you, but also for me. So that's why I'd like you to give me honest feedback after every lesson, which helps me tailor my lessons exactly for you. And I also let you know how you can improve your language skills outside of our lessons. So if you feel like you liked this description, you can send me a message or book a trial lesson and let me know how I can help. So in Slovak, po slovensky, ak si myslíte, že vám môžem pomôcť dosiahnuť vaše ciele, pošlite mi správu alebo si zarezervujte skúšobnú hodinu a dajte mi vedieť, s čím vám môžem pomôcť.